So okay, I'm going to record it, and we'll go from there. Hopefully I remember to upload the video, because I don't think I have been doing it as religiously as I need to. So, all right, starting with scene 12, Belle's cottage right here. And we've gone over the blocking for this a little bit before, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that was awful. Let me try that again. Almost worse somehow. Whatever. Okay, so we're going to move forward. So the curtain is currently closed. Okay, and so Belle and Maurice are going to be coming in most likely right here, and we talked about that before, and they're going to be walking over to here where they are up on the stairs. Belle is right here with Maurice, then Monsieur Dark enters in and follows. Okay, and then have I gone over this with everybody in this cast? Like, so as far as like where you're standing and when the curtain opens up and all that stuff, I think we did it last week, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't here last week, so
Oh, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
Okay, so Chris, you and Belle are going to be entering in right here. Okay,
Mhm.
and then you guys are crossing over as you guys are saying these lines, and then by the time that she says he's not terrible, in the beginning I was so frightened, all that, she is here and you are down at the bottom of the stairs. Okay, specifically
Okay.
Chris, that was for you. And then there's going to be some things that are going to be happening. The curtain is going to open in just a little bit, but first Monsieur Dark pops out and he says,
Good afternoon.
and we might as well do the lines. Why not? Go ahead. Let's start out with the. Did we have names for the cast, or was it just lead casts?
It was just lead.
It's Alan and Mencken.
Oh, that's right. Let's start out with cast Alan. Cast Alan. So, Belle, go ahead. You got a good stretch in there, huh?
Yeah, very good stretch. Very needed
Alan
one.
is lead,
Good.
right?
All right. Yeah, so cast Alan is what we're starting out with, and if I'm not mistaken, that is Ori and
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Rebecca, this is you. So go ahead and take it right from Monsieur Dark. She says.
Okay. Monsieur Dark.
I have come to collect your father.
What?
Oh, don't worry. I'll take very good care of him.
My
Good.
father's
Pause.
not crazy.
Pause. So when he says we'll take good care of him, and Alex, it is we'll take good care of him, and I want that specifically because the curtain then opens to reveal the mob, and the mob is here. Gaston enters right there and comes. There's this little ledge that leads up to the balcony with the stairs, and he's going to lean up against that ledge and just kind of watch. Okay, LeFou is here in the group as well, and then we already assigned out a couple of people who are going to be grabbing Maurice. It was some of my narrators, but I can't remember exactly who.
Because do you mind if I repeat that line?
Sure, go ahead.
Don't worry. We'll take very good care of him.
My father's not crazy.
He was raving like a lunatic about a beast. We all heard him, didn't we?
Good. And when that happens, LeFou steps forward and says that line. So LeFou would now be over here, standing right about there. And then, didn't we? Looks back at the villagers, and they all murmur their agreement, and Gaston is currently hanging out over there. And that's when Gaston says,
Poor Belle. It's a shame about your father.
and he
Gaston,
starts
you know
walking
my
over
father's
this
not
way.
crazy.
So he starts coming over this way, and he's going to end up standing in front of Belle, right about here. Okay. Oh, actually, hold on. Didn't I have a moment where Maurice gets grabbed by people? Oh, yeah, I think it was this. I think it was this line right here. And the people that are grabbing him are two of my narrators, but I can't remember who specifically. Have we already assigned that? I thought we did.
I
Yes.
think so, but I do have a question with this. Like, but Dark does not grab Maurice, but he goes with the people that have Maurice, right? So
Yeah, so he does end up moving over next to them, but for the moment I need to find out who is who, right? So this right here, this is Gaston, okay? This is Monsieur Dark, this is Maurice, and this is Belle up here, okay? So who are the two people that come down and grab Maurice? It was two of my narrators, I'm pretty
I think
sure.
it was narrator 4 and 2.
Narrator 2 and narrator 4. Okay, who are those people? I know Katie Ann and Jillian are 1 and 3, but who are my 2 and 4?
It's Amelia and Alexa.
Both of whom are not here currently. Okay, so I'm going to change that, and we are going to have. Ugh. Yeah, my Alexa just went off when you were talking about her. So anyway, so I'm going to change it to Katie Ann and Jillian. Can you guys be the ones to grab him? Okay, I don't think Amelia was here when we taught that, but I could be wrong. I don't know, but it's really hit or miss,
I
and I
can
don't think
grab him.
Alexa has really ever shown up hardly. So Garrett, the Norse. You're cut off, so I don't know what else you're saying, but or what else it says there.
I can grab him. No problem.
You probably could, and you could probably break me too.
I could
Yeah.
grab him.
Can
Not
I
like
just
the first time he
lift
hasn't
him
done
up?
that before.
That'd be
I can
kind of
grab
funny.
anyone.
Like just stand right behind him, and
Just say the
then
word, Mr.
kind of
Dale.
have.
Just say the word, and I'll grab anyone.
I'll end him. I'll make it look like an accident too.
Garrett, let's not break anyone.
No one will know.
He's already done that, so too late.
All right.
I mean,
don't
So
want
he
anyone to
has a
know.
point.
we're going to
Let's
keep
not break
moving
more
forward.
people then. Let's not break
And
more people.
scene on all of that. Very good. So we are going to move forward from here. So it is going to be narrator 1 and narrator 3, okay? So they are going to grab him and pull him back to here at this point right here. Okay, so, oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I've come to the collector father. Nope, nope, nope. It's this one. When they say, don't worry, we'll take good care of him, they immediately come out of the group and grab him and pull him away. And that's what makes her say, my father's not crazy. And LeFou comes down and says he was raving like a lunatic about some beast and all of that. Okay, so now in the blocking, it should be Maurice right here with narrator 3 on this side, narrator 1, and Monsieur Dark ends up moving over next to them. So he ends up right here. Okay, so Monsieur Dark is right there, and LeFou ended up coming down right here with Belle still up on the stairs and Gaston over here. Okay, so that is what happens when this happens, and then when LeFou comes out is during this line. Okay, all right, are there any questions about that? No? Okay, good. So let's move forward from here. So Gaston says, poor Belle, it's a shame about your father, all that, and moves over in front of her. LeFou steps back when Gaston passes, and Belle meets him at the bottom of the stairs, which means that Belle and Gaston are now face to face right here. And we talked a little bit about this interaction, and I asked you guys if you were comfortable doing a slap, which you said that you were, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then they are talking and going back and forth. So let's go ahead and do these lines super fast. Let's take it from poor Belle. It's a shame about your father. Go ahead.
Poor Belle. It's a shame about your father.
Gaston, you know he's not crazy.
I might be able to clear this little misunderstanding
If what?
if you'll marry me.
What?
One little word, Belle. That's all it takes.
Never.
Have it your way. Take the old man.
Good. Now pause. There is a lot of stuff that happens during this moment right here in between. So there is quite a pause between the two of them, okay? So she says, never. And she starts trying to leave, and then he grabs her, right? She starts trying to go up the stairs, and he grabs her by the arm, and then she turns back and slaps him across the face. And so he ends up, you know, kind of like being stunned by that, and then turns around like he's going to slap her. Okay, so don't forget all of that stuff. And then he realizes what he's doing and that everybody's watching, and therefore he's like, all right, well, I'm going to shake that off. Have it your way. Take the old man. Okay, and that's that's where we ended last time, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
So this sounds
Yeah.
like this is definitely gonna need some practice rehearsals in real life.
It
Yeah.
definitely will,
Mhm.
and we definitely will do it. I promise. We should hopefully have time. We should hopefully. Okay, but we will see. I'm certain that we will be able to perform this at some point up on the stage. Sorry, my son is currently taking a bath and he is splashing around like a lunatic. And so anyway, that's what I'm dealing with currently. Also, I want you guys to see something real quick. Look at that guy. And his ear popping up like this.
Aw.
Yep, he's my favorite. I love that dog. He's very cute. All right. So anyway, let's continue right from here. So, are there any questions so far about anything? No? Okay, perfect. So then, right after that, Gaston says, have it your way, take the old man, and he scoots back over to about here. Okay? That's the most awful G you can imagine, but that is over there. These guys, all of my people up here, they start trying to take Maurice off stage, and they're trying to start moving him that way. But Belle, before they can get very far, says, wait, I can prove my father's not crazy. And everyone stops and looks back at her. Hey, Scooby, no. Shh. No. Right? So everyone looks back at her and stops, right? So then she pulls out the magic mirror and looks down at it and says, show me the beast, and then holds it out to them. And once again, just like we were talking about before, Rebecca Maytal, when you guys are using the mirror, right, make sure that you are not covering your face with it, right? Show me the beast, right? And you got to remember that the audience is looking up at you. So if you're holding it even though you're holding it down, if you're holding it too high, then the audience still won't be able to see it, right? So you have to hold it kind of down. Show me the beast. Boom. Okay, and then obviously when everyone sees the beast, they freak out, right? This is like a, oh my gosh, what is that thing? It's disgusting. Oh, right, all of that. Okay, so that is going to take place right here. Okay, and there's going to be some music that starts playing, and that's also right here. Okay, and that's when Mob Song starts. Okay, so Maurice, who has been slightly dragged away, points at the thing and says, "That's him! That's him!" And the villagers are gasping, "Oh my gosh!" And it says, "A mother. That person is whoever the lady with the baby was."
Got it.
So who is my lady with baby?
That's Dallas and I.
Okay, so
That's me.
off pots. This is your line. Okay. Oh, and by the way, in this scene, you still have the baby, right? You're holding on to the baby.
Okay.
Right?
But if
Where's
we
she
actually
at?
do
Where's
go-
she at? Oh. She says, "Is he dangerous?" Ah.
Yeah. Bam. So that's yours. Okay. Is he dangerous? Right. Okay. And when obviously, without it goes without saying that whenever you have a line that's similar to this, you have to step out and be seen. Okay. Make sure that the audience knows to look at you when you have your lines. Okay.
I'm just
So-
gonna dramatically throw my baby in the air and say, "Is he dangerous?"
Oh! Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I will pay you
The
20
irony.
bucks if you do that.
The irony there is just palpable. I mean, it's so you are complaining about like, oh, this mystical boogeyman who's so dangerous to our children. And you're literally tossing them into the air, like tossing infants around, smashing down on the ground. So anyway, it's quite
If
funny.
you punch your child while saying that line, I will give you 25 bucks.
Bet. Okay.
Bet.
Yeah, and I will never hire you again. So
Just kidding. Babies are more important. Even if it's a fake baby, you don't punch fake babies. Fake babies have lives
nobody
too.
punches fake baby in the face. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to move forward. So anyway, right after that, Belle has just shown the mirror to everybody, and they're like, "Oh!" The music starts, and then Belle says this line, and let's go ahead and switch to cast Mencken now. So Maytal, take over with these lines.
Oh no, he never hurt anyone. I know he looks frightful, but he's really kind and gentle. He's my friend.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you'd have feelings for this monster.
Good. Pause.
He's not the monster, Gaston. You
Pause.
are.
Pause. Very good. So here's what's going to happen when Belle says he's really kind and gentle, he's my friend. During that line, or during the last part of that line, Gaston starts moving over, and he's going to end up standing in front of Belle, and he grabs the mirror out of her hand at the last second, okay? When she says, he's my friend, he grabs the mirror and looks at the thing, right? What is this thing? And then he says, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you have feelings for this monster, right? And he's trying to get everyone to not like Belle, obviously, right? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you have feelings for this monster. And she takes it back from him and says, he's not the monster, Gaston, you are. And then right? Everyone is like shocked by that because no one has ever dared to speak out against handsome, manly, rugged Gaston, who's never done anything wrong in his life, heaven forbid, right? So he says all of then he says, she's as crazy as the old man. She says this creature is her friend. Well, I've hunted wild beasts, and while he's saying this line, and go ahead and say it for us. I realized I was saying it.
Oh. She's as crazy as the old man. She says this creature is her friend. Well, I've hunted wild beasts and I've seen what they can do. Yeah.
And then he says some more.
Oh, the beast will make off with your children. He'll come after them in the night.
Good, and everyone's obviously reacting to that. But when Gaston says this, he ends up moving to center stage right here, okay? So he ends up kind of moving back, and he's looking kind of back behind him and getting the audience and the crowd kind of like riled up as he's saying this. She's as crazy as the old man, and he does all that stuff. So now he's back in center, but he's only going to stay there for a moment, okay? Because once the music starts and he sings, now it's time to take some action, boys, he moves, okay? So just keep that in mind. You're only there for a second, okay? So, the beast will make off with your children, he says, right, stirring up the audience. He'll come after them in the night. And then Belle says, he would never do that. And then when Gaston says, forget the old man, I say we kill the beast, narrators 1 and 3 let go of Maurice, and he goes running over to Belle, and he ends up hiding behind her. So he's now like there. Okay, and I know this is super confusing looking, so let me clean it up a little bit for us. One quick sec here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so the crowd is here. Belle is right here with Maurice over here. Gaston is right in the middle, and everybody else is up there. Okay, that's what it looks like now. Now that he says, forget the old man, they let go of Maurice. He goes running over to Belle, and once they are together, right, they look around for a moment, and then they go running up into the house, okay? And I know you guys have lines in the middle of this. You are going to come back out of the house at those lines, okay? Or actually, you know what, maybe you'll just be in the balcony and you guys are just waiting and watching kind of what's going on. I guess we'll see when we get there because I've done it both ways in the past and I'll see which one I like more. So for now, you're up in the balcony, okay? You're just waiting. So Belle and Maurice are both up here, okay? So you guys have made it up there and there you are. All right, so now Gaston starts whipping up the people into a frenzy and they all yell, kill him, okay? And Gaston is actually not right there, roughly. He is more like right here, and the mob is more like right here. Hold on. Yeah, that's about where the mob actually is, and Gaston is like there. Okay, so that's kind of what you can expect for this little scene. You guys will be right about there, and that's where the song starts. Okay. So then, and do we have any questions? Jillian, go ahead.
Hi, are the male villagers just the boys in our cast, or are some of the girls playing the male villagers?
Yeah, we don't have very many males, and so it would be a lot easier to have it broken up in a different way. And I've been kind of going back and forth with how it's going to get broken up, but I think it's going to be groups 1, 2, and 3 is what I think is going to end up happening. And so group 1 could be males or females, right? Group 2 could be something else. But that's not necessarily just for vocals. It's also for when you move and do certain things, right? And
Oh, so wait, remember when we went over that one song? I think it was in Gaston, or I think you said that me and Garrett were like, which villager again? I'm sorry. I was looking back at the script and I got confused of like who is who. And I think you rearranged the numbers.
I'm Villager 1, also known as Juan.
So wait,
So-
what?
Sorry, it's
Villager
just because
Juan.
like I know I'm one of, I know like for my understudy roles I am the lady with the baby and a villager. That's, and I know that I'm in Gaston and like the mob and Belle and stuff like that.
Can you guys give me just 2 seconds real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. 1 sec. Sorry.
Thank you too.
Wow, gracias.
Thank you, Dose.
Thank you, too.
Bruh.
I do be chomping on apples though. Would anyone like to join me for an ASMR? I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go get some water for this
Okay,
ASMR.
let's
Bet.
go.
Right back.
Alice, what are you
Hi, y'all doing?
ASMR.
I'll start. Let's go.
Oh god, this is crunchy.
Wait, what's an ASMR?
You don't know what ASMR is?
Corey,
No.
He's better.
loud out.
Stimulate your
I'm not.
ears.
You know what? You could look it up for yourself. I am not a professional ASMR. Therefore, I am not a licensed one. Therefore, I cannot do it.
So if you're not professional, why do you keep talking about it?
Because I'm trying to get
Dallas.
professional.
I mean, who else?
Do it, Dallas.
Shut up, Garrett.
Bet.
Guys, welcome back to another ASMR. Today I'm going to be eating an entire
Pretty,
apple.
pretty chunky dog.
Alice, you're
My
killing
ears
me.
are tingling, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done being a fool, a buffoon.
No, you're not a buffoon. Stay okay.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I love you, Rochelle. You're the best.
Stop it. I love you too.
Let's all look at my dog.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump back into it momentarily. Sorry, my son is in the bath, like I said, and he was being exceptionally quiet, which is
Oh.
fine
Oh
when
yeah.
it comes to 4-year-olds in the bath. So I had to go.
Understandably. No. You don't need to apologize. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So anyway,
Very concerned.
here for a moment. But all right. Okay. Do we have everyone back? Are we ready to go? Let's bring it back in. Thank you guys for being patient, especially those of you who are not necessarily being directly worked with currently. Okay. All right. So now the mob song. Here we go. So a male villager, and I don't know if we've ever assigned this or if it was in the. Was this in the casting template? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay, so we'll assign it now. Monsieur Dark has a line already right here, so he can't be the male villager. Maybe we can do off beast. Maybe off beast. Do we have any other? Yeah, we have off Lumiere, don't we? So let's do off Lumiere. So off Lumiere, whoever off Lumiere is, will be in this. So Anthony, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes? Good. So you and Jude, whenever you are off Lumiere, you are going to be this person, okay? So you sing, "We're not safe until he's dead. He'll come stalking us at night." That's what you sing, okay? Give me a thumbs up, both of you, if you got it. Perfect, okay. And then female villager, that one can be, let me see here. So we've already been using, who have we been using here? Oh, Miss Melanie, you're back. Hello. So maybe that can be, oh, Michael's here. Hello, Michael, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Let's do off Cogsworth. So off Cogsworth will be the female villager. So off Lumiere will be the male villager, off Cogsworth will be the female villager. Okay? So, and that is set to sacrifice our children to his monstrous appetite. And then Monsieur Dark sings, he'll wreak havoc on our village if we let him wander free. Okay? So that is what we are singing right there. Now, obviously, it goes without saying that you need to pop forward when it's your turn. Wherever you are, you just peek your head through and everyone looks at you when you're singing and doing your part, okay? And then you fade back, you melt back into the group once you actually are singing your part, okay? Or once you're done singing your part, okay? And then Gaston ends up saying, so it's time to take some action, boys. It's time to follow me. And when he is singing this first part, so it's time to take some action, boys, he is standing in center stage right here. And then when he sings the second part, it's time to follow me. He is moving up here to the top of the stairs, where he is then going to be kind of holding on to the top, right, while he has his foot up, right? And he's going to be kind of looking out over the crowd as he is saying this next part. Through the mist, through the woods, through the darkness and the shadows. So that's where he delivers that line. Okay? So Gaston has moved up to there, and then everyone else, when he says it's time to follow me, everyone else moves down stage so that they can be kind of next to him, looking up at him and things like that. Okay, so we are now looking up at Gaston as he is singing, very dark and mysterious, I guess. Gravitas is the word that I'm searching for, I guess. And while he's doing that, it's kind of like down and everyone's like, paying attention and all that, okay? So then he sings through the mist, through the woods, through the darkness and the shadows. It's a nightmare, but it's one exciting ride, okay? And on Nightmare, Elisa, you are going to turn around, because Elisa, by the way, I forgot to mention this, LeFou is like right at the bottom of the stairs. You are his right-hand man, right? Woman, and you are going to be kind of like riling up the crowd as well. And so you end up on Nightmare, you turn around and scare someone, most likely the lady with the baby right there, most likely, right? But whoever's right there, okay, yeah, and so right, and you do that whole thing, okay? So that's what's going to happen right there. So Elisa, you were right at the bottom of the stairs. Give me a verbal, oh, okay, you're eating. So I see you. Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, you're good. All right. Okay, so then, Gaston says, it's a nightmare, but it's one exciting ride. Say a prayer, then we're there at the drawbridge of a castle, and there's something truly terrible inside. Okay, now you guys are all going to have some sort of weapons or something similar. You will have a gun, or you will have a big stick, and something like that. Okay, so you're going to be.
Did someone say get a gun?
Yes, you have a
I'm
rifle.
happy right now.
Yeah, it's not in any possible way real. We would never ever be able to give you a real weapon of any kind in Broadway Kids. I'm going to rip that Band-Aid off fast for you, Garrett. Okay? All right. So now, I know. Truly,
Bruh.
my students.
I mean, what about a musket? It's literally safety, the gun.
Garrett!
Garrett,
Theater!
I didn't hear what he said. Probably for the best. But
he wants a musket.
He wants one.
Don't
we all?
It's safety, the gun.
Safety, the gun.
Bottom line, we're gonna be going after the bees. That's not the point.
No real guns. No.
I love how this is still recording.
Apparently, no real guns. Okay, so we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic, so we're gonna keep moving forward. All right. So then, during this part where everyone is singing "It's a Beast, He's Got Fangs, Razor Sharp Ones," and I know it says some villagers, but it's actually going to be everyone during this part. Okay, you're all singing "It's a Beast, He's Got Fangs, Razor Sharp Ones," and then everyone continues to sing "Massive Paws, Killer Claws for the Feast." So that's not split up quite yet. That is still everyone singing, but you are physically splitting up a little bit, okay? And so it's going to end up being one kind of group over here and one kind of group over here, right? So the first group is going to be anyone who is an off person, right? So if you are off Beast, off Bell, off Lumiere, off Cogsworth, anybody like that, so you are part of this group right here, and we will do yeah, so on this side, let's get Silly Girls and Narrators. Okay, so that's going to be that group. And on this side is everybody else. Okay, so just everybody else is on this side. That's going to be easier to say. Okay, so if you are off people, you're on this side. If you are Silly Girls or Narrators, you are on this side. Okay, so you were in a big clump right here. And first, this group, we'll call them group everyone. No, we won't. I'm going to just say this group right here, and I'll circle it.
Group off.
Group off. Yeah, sure. So group off will be moving first, and they start exiting out of the big formation right here, or the big clump, and they start moving over to this spot. When they are singing, "It's a beast, he's got fangs, razor sharp ones," and then this group right here will move into their positions while everyone is singing, "Massive paws, killer claws for the feast." Okay. Now, when you are actually moving, you're going to have some sort of weapon, as has been said before. Give me a moment. All right, I don't have like a broom or something long that I can show you. So either way, it doesn't matter. So as you are moving, okay, it's going to be on the beat. So you are kind of stepping and you have your weapon, and it's a two-handed weapon of some type, right? So you're going to be moving. "It's a beast, he's got fangs, razor sharp ones." Okay, and then you hold the pose, right at the end. Or you can give me some sort of like, menacing pose once you get to your spot, right? So "It's a beast, he's got fangs, razor sharp ones," pose, right? And then "Massive paws, killer claws for the feast," pose. Okay, so it's on the offbeat. "Massive paws, killer claws for the feast," pose. Okay, if that makes sense. And then Gaston will come in, and he moves down right here and comes right into the center. LeFou, by the way, LeFou is, I'm actually going to have you part of this group right here, because I forgot to mention you. You are part of this group right here. But LeFou is actually going to be more downstage so that he can be right next to Gaston. So that is where LeFou is right there. Yeah, "Massive paws, killer claws for the feast," bam. And then we look over at Gaston when he starts singing. Everybody snaps over there, right? So you're holding the pose until "Hear him roar, see him foam," right? And it's going to be on roar. When he says roar, that is the downbeat when you look over at him. Oh, Monsieur Dark, Alex, you're wondering where you are going to be at. You are going to be part of this group as well. So, Monsieur
Because
Dark.
that was the question. That's why I'm like,
I figured that was the question. Yeah, you're also part of this group over here. So everyone who's like a regular, normal town member, right? And then these are the everyone else group. Okay, good. So the normies, if you will, on this side, and the off people on that side. All right. So, are there any questions about anything so far? Miss Melanie?
And Mr. Dan.
Yes.
So just wondering if at the beginning the lines "Who said the mother" is the off Mrs. Potts. Did you?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we did that.
Yep.
Sure. So the mother is off Mrs. Potts, who says that, and then I didn't know if we had assigned these, so I just assigned them, right? And it's going to be, we already did it. So it's
No, I don't think we have.
Okay, yeah, so off Lumiere, then off Cogsworth for that, okay? All right, so now, where did we get to? something truly terrible inside. Or watch him roar, see him foam, but we're not coming home till he's dead, good and dead. Kill the beast. Okay. Now, when he says hear him roar, we're looking at him, and he gets to here. He's moving to here by the time that he is done singing, but we're not coming home. Right? So he's moving down the stairs. Hear him roar, see him foam, but we're not coming home. And now he's here. And then till he's dead, good and dead. Okay? So this group over here, when we say till he's dead, that little moment right there, they are going to come running forward on the beat. Okay? So till he's dead. And then the other group is going to do the same thing. Good and dead. Okay? So it's like bam, bam, bam. Okay? And they're going to be flanking Gaston now. Okay, so that was my son practicing his Maui. Chee-hoo!
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not.
It sounded like he was yelling help. That's why.
All right, hold on. I only got a couple of them in here for some reason. Give me a moment. Okay, you know what? Hold on. We're gonna make life a little bit easier on us. So everyone moves down to here. Silly girls in your group move to here. Whoops. There we go. Okay. You can see where I'm going with this. Okay. So that's where you guys are rushing forward, and it is on the beat. Step, step, step. Right. Till he's dead. Good and dead. Okay. And you guys are moving down stage, and now you're giving me kind of like a big warrior pose, right? And so then you're kind of like standing right behind him, and then on Kill the Beast, everyone is going to throw their arms into the air, and that is going to be on Kill the Beast, right? So we say, kill, he's dead, good and dead, kill the beast, okay? And then on Beast, you have your arms up, okay? So we do have some questions. Jillian, go ahead.
Hi, I'm sorry. What group goes forward until he's dead, and then the other one goes?
The off group goes on till he's dead, and then the everyone or the normal town folk, the normies, that's what we decided to call them, they move on good and dead.
Okay, thank you.
So that is where we are at currently. Ratatoskr.
Hey, so I am needed elsewhere if I'm not. Am I needed here for any?
I mean, I would want you to learn this, but I am recording it, so I guess that's fine.
Okay.
You must.
Because I mean, I hate to do this because this is the last week I'm spending with my sister because she's off to college getting a job.
Oh, well, look at her achieving things.
I know, what a normie, what a scrub.
What a scrub, truly.
I'd
Yeah,
rather
no,
sit in my
I
mom's
understand.
basement and eat Hot Pockets.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. For me, it would be chicken tendies.
Oh yeah.
Okay, focus, you two.
Focus.
Well,
all right, we're going to keep going. So then,
I gotta head out.
You're fine. We will see you later. Just watch this video. Promise me that
Yes,
you'll watch this video.
Cross my heart on my
And hope to die?
Yes.
Okay. I hope you die too. All right, we'll see you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep moving forward. Huh? What? We're going to keep going? Let's yeah, so we got to this point. Did we have any other questions about anything before we move on? No? Okay, awesome. So right here, he says, or Belle speaks up, and she says, I won't let you do this. And that's from up here. Gaston turns and looks at her and says, try and stop us. And then he is going to turn around and face you guys, who are then going to kind of get into a huddle type thing. It's not like an actual huddle where people are like, doing this, but it's like he's at the front of the crowd with his back to the audience, Dominic, right? And he is talking to you guys right here. LeFou is obviously right next to him on this side, right there. And so everyone else is kind of like pretending to hear his speech where he's like, we're going to go murder this thing, and it's going to be brutal, and it's going to be great, and its trophy is going to look awesome on my wall, and all these other things. And we're like, yeah, it's going to be great, yeah. all that. Okay.
Really
So,
fast.
where we're at. Go ahead, Miss
Who
Melanie.
here is not taking notes? Good.
I'm not because I left my script in the car.
You thankfully have been blessed with other things to write on, such as God-given paper and using a pencil or something similar.
Yes. So this is an important scene, and this dance is all blocking. So there are things that I know about Mr. Pan, and one thing that drives him nuts is if he has to teach it again. So because I love my brother, I'm telling you all, write it down now so we don't have to teach this dance again. So go through, Dominic. If you didn't write the first section of this dance, you are going to go back after class and you will write it after this. But right now, you're going to find a notebook or some sort of thing to write on. You're going to finish taking notes very fully about this dance, okay? Because there's details, especially because this is your song. And to me, that says that you're not taking it seriously if you're not taking notes.
Thank you, Miss Melanie. And thank you. That makes me feel
You're
good.
welcome. All right, keep going, Mr. Dan.
We will continue. So Gaston says, try and stop us, faces back up stage, and starts talking to everybody who's like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then Belle and Maurice start talking. They are making sure that they are being seen, obviously. And Belle says, oh, Papa, it's all this stuff. So let's go ahead and take these lines super fast, and we are still with Cast Mencken. So we are still with Maytal. Go ahead. So, Gaston, take it away. Actually, Maytal first. Take it away.
I won't let you do this.
Try and stop us, Gaston says.
Oh, Papa, this is all my fault. I have to go back and warn him.
I can't unmute. Okay, I got it.
Anytime, Chris.
And Chris says. There he is.
Oh, sorry. I have to feed my dog. I'm back.
No, you're good.
I'm coming with you.
No.
I lost you once. I'm not gonna lose you again.
And right there, Belle and Maurice exit through the house. Okay? So wherever the door to the house is, probably like right there, they go out that way. Okay? And Belle goes and gets ready for her final scene with Beast, and Maurice gets ready for the final scene of the show. And that's the last time that we see him before the finale. Okay? So then Gaston is still in the center right here, right after they leave. And then Gaston turns around to face the audience again and says, we'll rid the village of this beast. Who's with me? And then LeFou puts his hand up and says, I am. And then some villagers is going to be the following people. Let's go ahead and have, from this side, let's do Off Bell, Michael, and Off Cogsworth, I guess. And then from this side, it's going to be Silly Girl 1, Narrator 3. Why not? So that's who those people are going to be for I Am, the second I Am. And the timing of this, he says, we'll rid the village of this beast. Who's with me? I am, I am, I am. And when they say, I am, thank you, son. I'm glad.
Axel's so excited.
Oh my god.
The little 4-year-old, soon to be 5-year-old.
Yes, as soon as he's 5. Yeah, June 1st is his birthday. So when everybody says I am, even the people who have said these ones, they also say this, obviously. Okay?
You're so cute.
With the genie, as he says. So everybody then throws their hand up, their fist. Okay. All right. Hey, Axel. Axel.
So cute.
Hold on. Okay. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
We can.
Yeah.
Is actually mommy going?
all right. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. if we can. Fast.
Thank you too.
Thank you too.
I wonder why.
It sounded like a tsunami going off in there.
Oh
That
my
was so cute.
He is
He's
so
so cute.
cute, you guys.
That's
He's
cute.
hilarious. I kid you not, when he was little, Dan's wife Ashley sent the family a video, and it was little Axel, and he's like maybe 2 years old, and he was sitting on the potty, and Ashley goes, "Once there was a," and he would just fill in the blank, and he would tell stories that were just crazy, and it was so hilarious. So he's sitting on the potty, and Ashley goes, "Once there was a," and he goes, "Frog." And she's like, "Okay, there's a frog." And he was walking to a volcano. And we're like, "Oh, okay." And to the volcano, he found a shark. I'm like, "What?" Like, little 2-year-old was just telling
That's so cute.
stories. He's so funny, you guys. Like, you never know what's gonna come out of that little guy's mouth because he's so funny. Oh, I love him. He's very cute, and he keeps them very busy. For sure.
That's Mr. Dan for you.
Oh, that was his son.
Gets it from his.
Yeah, he definitely gets it from his daddy. Yes, he's very.
Earlier he said he was trying to say help earlier.
Oh.
He said like help.
No, lately he's been into a couple of things. He's been really into Sonic the Hedgehog. He's been really into Scooby-Doo. And for a while, he was really into Moana. But when he got cast as Maui, he's like adopted it as his thing. So he really loves Maui. So I wonder if that's what he was doing. So he was like practicing his Maui stuff. Because Maui's got some pretty fun things to do. So he is probably owning it.
I understand why you want to be Maui now.
Oh my gosh, hilarious. You guys should have seen Axel as the caterpillar for Alice in Wonderland. Because the caterpillar sings this like zippity doo dah song. And Axel, in this like full caterpillar costume, he would pop out of the side of the stage and like make faces to us. And he'd be like, "Hi, Nana. Hi," and he'd be like waving to all of our family, and then he'd like hide back, and then he realized he was getting like laughs from it, and so he kept going. We were dying. It was so silly. Oh my goodness. How early have you guys started like performing? Like, did you guys start performing when you were little? Did you guys start when you were in elementary school, middle school? Is this?
Yeah, elementary school. They used to have us play these. I think I was a lady with a baby another lady with a baby because we were learning about the Pilgrims, and I think it was this gal named Elizabeth, and she had a baby, and that's the highlight of my 4th grade experience. Was it 4th grade? No, it wasn't. It was probably 2nd grade.
The world is the theater. The world is acting.
I've been in choir since 2nd grade.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. So we are going to keep moving forward from here, okay?
Wow.
Are there any questions about anything that we've done so far? No? Okay, awesome. So we've ended in these spots right here. I am, we say. And then hearts ablaze, banners high, we go marching into battle. Unafraid, although the danger's just increased. Okay, during this part, it's going to get slightly complicated, but I wanted it to be pretty easy for the most part as well. We're going to be moving into a line across the stage. It should end up kind of looking like this with Gaston right in the middle. Okay, and that's kind of what we're aiming for. But the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some like step turn thing, right? It's a pivot. Okay, so we're right here saying I am. Okay, then hearts ablaze, banners high. Okay, on
Your
hearts
right fist
ablaze.
is in the air for I am, by the way.
What was that?
I just said your right hand is in the air.
Yes, it's our right hands that are in the air. And I'm trying to decide how I want to break it up between the two of them. If I want it to be staggered, where it's like every other person goes, or if I want it to be one group, or if they all want to go together. I think it would be better if we're all together because now we have joined together.
Yeah, I say all together.
All right, so when we say hearts ablaze, we're right here. I am, and then hearts ablaze, banners high. We go marching into battle, and then we all start spreading out. Okay, so you're going, you're doing a pivot turn. Hearts ablaze, banners high. We go marching into battle. Okay, and then so you start marching into your line right here, and it doesn't matter where you end up. Just the only people that need to be in certain places are right here, okay? So Monsieur Dark, Gaston, and LeFou. And that's where you guys need to end up. And then everybody else is in the line, okay? Right about there, okay? So that's kind of where we're marching to, and it is on the beat. Boom, 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 right? So we say hearts ablaze, and that's the first step. Banners high is the second one. We go marching into battle unafraid. And by afraid, we should hopefully be in these spots by that point, okay? So you are facing directly sideways. You're profiling to the audience by that point. You're marching, right? So unafraid, although the danger's just increased. Okay, so we're waiting for everybody to be fully in place by the time that we say increased. And then when we say increased, we are all going to face out toward the audience with our weapons. Okay, and we're holding our weapons somehow. If you are holding a long stick, then you can hold it in one hand for that moment and you can pound it on the ground. If you're holding a gun, you would still be holding it with two hands like this, okay?
Would you point it at the audience, Dan?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, just don't hit anybody with it, obviously. So, hearts ablaze, banners high, we go marching into battle unafraid, although the danger's just increased. Okay, and then we get to increased, and we are now out toward the audience. Okay, then raise the, oh boy, my bad. Gonna have to erase those, aren't I? So, any questions so far? No? Okay, good. So then, raise the flag, sing a song. Here we come, we're 50 strong and 50 Frenchmen. Can't be wrong. Let's kill the beast, okay? So during this part, we are going to have group one, or this side, whoever ends up on that side, most likely the off people, right? Everyone who was in that first group, most likely, right? And then group number two over here, everyone who was in that other group most likely will be in this one, okay, the normies. And group one starts this part. Everyone is singing, right? Raise the flag, sing a song, okay, but it's this group first that is actually doing something, and then this group second during this part. So raise the flag is going to be where you are, instead of like singing it, I want it to almost be like, raise the flag! Okay, and so you're just like, yelling it out, and it's like a mob mentality is kind of what I'm looking for, okay? So raise the flag, and you're kind of like shaking your weapons or throwing them up into the air, something like that. And then sing a song is the exact same thing, but on the opposite side. And then here we come, we're 50 strong. We're going to march forward all together, okay? Gaston, Mr. Dark, and LeFou are kind of in the center looking around as they're doing this, right? So it starts on this side for them, and this is the audience down here, right? So they're looking off this way as everyone sings, raise the flag, and then sing a song. Here we come, we're 50 strong, okay? And we march forward. So the whole line takes 3 steps forward on here we come, we're 50 strong, right there, okay? The whole group. And then on and 50 Frenchmen can't be wrong, we are going to very angrily be looking at the audience and like looming over them, okay? So we just marched forward. Here we come, we're 50 strong and 50 Frenchmen can't be wrong. Like almost like we're screaming in their face, okay? And then we're going to start moving to our final pose and our final position right after that on kill the beast. Bam, kill the beast, bam, kill the beast. Okay, so are there any questions so far about that? No? Okay, awesome. So now, Dark, Gaston, LeFou, everybody else, right about there. Okay, so that's kind of where we. Okay. All right. So now, yeah, that's where we have ended up currently. Okay. So raise the flag, sing a song. Here we march, march, march. 50 strong and 50 Frenchmen can't be wrong. We are yelling at the audience right in their face. And then let's kill the beast. Kill the beast, kill the beast. So this group is the first one, usually, right? Always. And so they end up yelling at everybody, let's kill the beast! Kill the beast! And then this group yells the second one, kill the beast! Okay? And then everyone yells, kill the beast. And if we have more time to practice this in the studio, I will add one other thing that's less complicated, or that's more complicated, right? But currently, this is the keep it simple, stupid method, and we will just do that, okay? So that is where we are at currently. So everyone will just yell, kill the beast, kill the beast, kill the beast. Okay, and then on the final kill the beast, it is a yell, right? So there are a couple of people that are singing, right? Oh, and by the way, those people are going to be my silly girls narrators. You will always be singing, okay, these parts, whereas everybody else is yelling the parts, at least for this moment, okay? And then kill the beast. Everyone yells it, and you're going to kind of put your fists up. Actually, you know what? I am going to add at least half of the complicated part because this is probably not too complicated at all. So once you have marched forward on here we come, we're 50 strong and 50 Frenchmen can't be wrong. Let's kill the beast. The first group is actually going to scoot in, and they are going to start forming kind of around these guys, and then the second group on kill the beast is going to then start forming their little section as well, so that we have Gaston in the center, and I do want some people giving me levels. So if you're down here, then you would come down during that part, right? So kill the beast, we're forming in, and people are giving me levels. Kill the beast, forming in, and then Gaston will be in the center with his musket, and he will be the only one who has his hand up. Everyone else will bring their weapons kind of out toward the audience. When on the last, kill the beast, okay? And that is where we are going to end the song, is right there, okay? Does that make sense? Any questions? Jillian, go ahead.
You said you wanted everybody to yell at the last kill the beast, right?
Yes, that is what it is in the script. Right here you can see everybody is just yelling.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, any other questions about that? No? Okay, awesome. So for our own edification, yes, Miss Melanie, go ahead. Miss Melanie, go ahead.
Muted, sorry. I just want to run finale vocals when we're done.
I was actually going to keep rolling forward, and we were going to teach. I was going to start moving into the actual fight scene in the castle.
But those kids, not everybody's in that.
Almost everybody's in the final battle. Like the only people who are not are people that have already learned their next part, and that's Belle, Beast, and Gaston.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody else is, including that narrator who says that
Okay.
line.
Go for it.
But do you guys want me to play the music for the mob song? Do we need to do that? I was going to, but now I'm thinking I don't have to. So, all right, never mind. So we're just going to keep moving forward from there. Are there any questions about mob song? Any at all? This is the time to do it. No? Okay, awesome. So here's what happens. My whole group right here. Oh, by the way, when you guys stepped forward at this point, when you were saying, "Here we come, we're 50 strong," the curtain starts closing right behind you, and you guys end up in front of the curtain for this last little bit. Okay. Here we come, we're 50 strong, and 50 Frenchmen can't be wrong. Curtain is closed. So now, scene 13, right? It says the villagers storm off, but you actually don't because you guys are about ready to pop right in through the center of the curtain. Now, right behind the curtain, the various castle staff are starting to get into place. Okay, and the following people are going to be in the following places. Everyone else, it doesn't really matter where you are. Chip absolutely has to be right here so that after everyone has come into the castle, she can run to the front and then yell, charge, in just a moment, okay? But everyone else, it doesn't necessarily matter where you stand, right, of my castle staff. So you guys are just in a big semicircle somewhere right here with Chip being here. Okay, so what I've seen in the past is Mrs. Potts is kind of the center of everybody with, like, you know, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Wardrobe, Babette, you know, just people, right? So you guys are just in that area, and that's where you guys are getting set up once that curtain closes. Okay, so narrator 1 pops out from wherever she is, probably this side right here, and says, the angry mob of villagers marched through the forest, waving torches and weapons. Once gathered in front of the beast castle, narrator 2 says, they carefully made their way inside. Okay, during this time, you guys are just going to be kind of like, you know, preparing for battle. You guys are looking at each other. You guys can be pretending to talk to each other while the narrators are saying their lines, and then you come to the door of the castle, right? And so someone can start pretending or trying to open up the doors right here, right? And then Gaston moves them out of the way, and then he does it. Okay, and that's what's going to be happening during this point right here. Okay, so once gathered in front of the beast castle, Dominic, you're throwing somebody aside, right? Maybe LeFou, and then you pull open the curtain, and we'll figure that out when we actually are on the stage, because it's going to be easier to be like, oh, you're closest, so you do it, right? So just, yeah, instead of like, oh, move, I got to get to my spot, right? If that makes sense. Okay, so then Gaston throws somebody aside, and then he ends up opening up the thing, and the curtain opens to reveal these things all in their order right over there, right? They're just hanging out and doing all that. Okay, so then some music starts playing, and that music is right here. Okay, and so everyone starts kind of filtering through the rooms, or not the rooms, the castle itself. Okay, Gaston and LeFou end up coming to here. Okay, and this is while the music is going, so it'll start going like, and then it'll go bum 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 bum, right? And during that part is these lines right here. Okay, Gaston, this place gives me the creeps, LeFou says to Gaston, who then do you hear something, right, in that kind of way. And then Chip, while everyone is kind of exploring and walking in through the castle staff, Chip pops out, and all of a sudden people realize, what the, whoa, what the, and then she yells, and go ahead, Jennifer.
Charge!
There it is. Nice. So that's when all heck breaks loose. And then everyone starts like fighting and doing stuff like that, okay? Now, this is going to be slightly crazy, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully we can do this, okay? So, I'm going to explain person by person kind of what you are expecting, or like part by part, okay? A little bit of what you should be expecting, what you're doing. During that moment, when she says, charge! The whole castle seems to come alive as the servants descend upon the unsuspecting villagers. Babette corners a villager, okay? So during this moment, it's pure pandemonium, pure chaos, right? I want everyone just, right? But the goal is for everyone, literally everyone, to get off stage. However, the following people have to go to the following places, okay? Babette absolutely has to go here. Natalie, that's you, okay? You have to come out right here. And then whoever this villager is, right here, this one, whoever that is, needs to go out this way. Okay? So that's kind of what we can expect right there. Okay? So now, let me grab this super fast. Bam. Okay. Yeah, Gaston and LeFou, you guys can just exit wherever you want, right? For LeFou, by the way, it'll probably be a lot easier for you if you were to exit out this direction right there. Okay, it would probably be a lot easier for you, Elisa, if you come out that way. But you can really go out anywhere because you have more than enough time. Okay, and then everybody else is just to whatever direction you want to go. Really, it really doesn't matter. Wherever you want to go is fine. Okay. So now, Alex, did you have a question?
Because I was asking a question about the like for the villagers thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you think it could be dark as well?
Like when they have to leave, when they have to run?
No, I'm talking about with Babette.
Oh no, because I have something for him in just a moment. This moment right here, tally ho, tally ho. That's actually you're going to come out and you are fencing with Cogsworth, right? You have a cane the whole movie, or the whole movie, the whole play, and so anytime that you're Mr. Dark, you have a cane, and you're using that cane to fence with Cogsworth. And so when Cogsworth says tally ho, that's going to take place here in just a moment. You are going this way. You guys are. Okay? So that's the direction that you're moving as you're entering and exiting. Okay? So that's what's going to happen in just a moment, okay? So we'll get there when we get there though. All right. So Babette then pops out and a villager pops out as well, and that villager is Michael. Are you still with us, Michael?
Yes.
Awesome. So Michael is going to pop out, and he's going to be right here. Babette, Natalie, is going to be right here, and she ends up saying, oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot. Lumiere, you need to exit out this way. So that is Anthony and Jude. You guys have to be exiting out this direction right here. Okay, does that make sense? When you are doing your big moment, right, and it's all crazy and chaos and everything. Okay? So you guys have exited out this side so that you can come back in on this side in just 2 seconds. Okay? Alex, did you still have a question, or was that just leftover from before?
Wait, is my hand still raised? Because
I put it down, but you're good. Okay, so now Michael is right here. Babette is right here, and she says these lines. So let's go ahead and say these lines real quick.
Say, you're cute.
Michael, this one's you.
Nah.
Good.
Ooh.
And she says, ooh, and she is going to start advancing on him, and she is going to end up very flirtatiously right in front of him, right about here, and little known to any of them, Lumiere has popped in, and he is right behind Michael, and he is going to then give kind of a wink to the audience, right, or a shh, something like that, and then he is going to take both of his fiery fists and he is going to put them right at Michael's bottom, and Michael will go running off screaming, ah, jumping around and stuff like that. Okay, leaving Babette with Lumiere, and then they will run off together. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Any questions about that? No? All right. And Anthony, you did get that, correct? You seem to be slightly preoccupied. Yeah, okay. All right, so good. I'm glad you got that. I hope so. I hope you did. So then they go running off that way. And now Cogsworth enters in. Actually, I'm sorry. First, Monsieur Dark enters in, and he is going to be kind of chasing or getting chased by Cogsworth, who is following. And Monsieur Dark turns around, and they start fencing as Cogsworth says, tally ho, and they are all moving this way, running pretty quickly as they are doing that. Right? And they're going off stage that direction. Okay, and that's how fast that goes. Right? So he comes rushing on, and then Cogsworth immediately, tally ho, and then they are off. And it's pretty quick. Okay, it's pretty quick that needs to happen. So then, LeFou will enter in on this side right here after they have exited, and he is going to be kind of nervous and looking around. Mrs. Potts comes in with Chip, and this is going to be after a few moments. there's going to be like some music playing and stuff, but then LeFou comes in right here with Mrs. Potts and Chip, and then Mrs. Potts ends up going over to LeFou and says, "You look like you could use a nice cup of tea." And she says, "Tea? Oh, thank you." And Chip says, "Here you go," and then spits tea in LeFou's face. And it's not an actual spit, Jennifer. It's going to be like you don't actually have tea in your mouth. It's just going to be like fake, right? So you're just going to go, right, and pretend to blow tea in his face, right? So then, blinded, LeFou is going to stagger and stumble around, and end up in center stage. And Mrs. Potts says, while that's happening, "Take that, you scurvy scum!" And she knocks him with her spout downstage. Bonk, right? So, bonk, like that. Okay, and so then that's when he's moving forward to this point right here.
So would I use my actual arm, or would I use like the piece of the costume in order to do that?
Costume that you are
Oh, okay.
knock him with. Okay.
Okay, that makes
Pretty
sense.
sure it's this hand.
I think it's the left
I'm
hand.
pretty sure it's this one in the costume. So in the movie, it is like it would be. Well, no, in the movie it's her nose, isn't it? Either way, okay. So anyway, after that, you bonk LeFou, and then you go running off this way with Chip. Okay? Then there's going to be a moment where the music slows down and gets really quiet, and LeFou rubs his eyes, looks around, everything is dark, and he says, "Hey, where did everybody go?" And then we start hearing bum 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 bum, and that is when the wardrobe is going to be entering in, and she is not only fully ready for battle, but she is wearing a helmet that has horns and 2 long braids. She is dressed as Brunhilde, which is a very famous character from the Flight of the Valkyries opera, or something similar. I can't remember. It's by Wagner. I can't remember the exact name of the thing, but she is one of the Valkyries, and she is singing this big operatic song. So she ends up blasting LeFou with a high note in just a moment. Okay, so yeah, where did everybody go? LeFou ends up coming down stage right here, and wardrobe ends up right next to him, and then blasts him with a very high note, and he goes and runs off stage this direction, and then she exits the way that she came, or if the costume allows, she exits this way. And I would actually prefer her to exit this way, but I don't know if the costume is going to fit into that space. So we will see. All right, so Katie Anderson, that was you. Did you get all of that? Elisa, Katie Anderson.
Yes.
Did you guys get that? Katie, can you give me a thumbs up if you did?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So then after that, there are 3 little fight scenes that kind of happen back and forth, and I will go over them real quick, but I'm not going to assign them quite yet because it's going to be hard to know who is going to be able to do what in certain moments and who has certain weapons and things like that. Okay, so the first one was what? What was the first one? I can't remember specifically, but I think I had Lumiere coming out, and he taps somebody on the shoulder and then like ducks underneath them or something. I can't remember specifically, and then like hits them from behind and they go off this way or something similar. The second one was Mrs. Potts, where she comes in and is chasing someone off this way or something. I can't remember specifically. And then the third one I know for a fact is this. Okay, so LeFou and all of the castle staff people, or not LeFou, I'm sorry, Lumiere and all of the castle staff people are kind of right here gathered together, with LeFou leading the group of villagers, and it might have to be a smaller group on both sides, but LeFou and Cogsworth end up looking at each other. Right, the final moment, the final battle has come, and they're looking at each other, and LeFou and Cogsworth then do some sort of secret best friend handshake thing, and then Cogsworth jumps onto LeFou's back, or vice versa, and then they charge, leading the whole group this way, and then everyone runs off stage that direction as the curtain closes. No, it doesn't close, does it? But either way, everyone runs off stage. Okay, and everyone is gone. So again, I don't remember the specific ones that we did for each group, but that one I know for a fact. So there are 3 of them, and the third one is that, where LeFou comes out with the villagers and Lumiere and Cogsworth are on the other side. They chase him off, and there it is. Okay, and so everybody ends up running off that direction. Beast appears in the balcony right there. Okay. All right, are there any questions about that? No? Okay, awesome. And we have already learned, or at least Beast, Gaston, and Belle have already learned this last little part right here. So let's just go over the final little scene right here. This is after he dies and comes back to life, after the kiss. And then Lumiere, Cogsworth, and Mrs. Potts have an entrance right here. Okay, so Belle and the prince embrace. Mrs. Potts, Lumiere, and Cogsworth enter. She just barely said, "It is you," and they are down here. This is where they are. Okay, so this is Belle and Beast right here, and then Lumiere, Cogsworth, and Mrs. Potts all end up right here in this order. Okay, so this is going to be Cogsworth, this is going to be Lumiere, and this is going to be Mrs. Potts, and it has to be in that order. Okay, so then the prince, he ends up seeing them after they say these lines, and yeah, why not? Let's say these lines right here. Let's go ahead and do cast Alan with these lines. Dallas.
Sorry, my bad. I forgot Alan was my group. My bad. Oh my, oh goodness me.
The spell is broken.
We're human again.
Good. So then Beast will move over to here, and he will end up saying, "Oh, Mrs. Potts!" And he goes and hugs her, and she, oh, right, and does all that. And then Lumiere says, "Master!" And then Mrs. Potts steps away for a moment, and he goes and hugs Lumiere as he says, "Oh, Lumiere!" And then looks over at Cogsworth and says, "Cogsworth!" Oh, and wraps her up in a big hug. And this could be handled one of 2 ways, depending on what you guys are comfortable with. Okay, so Beast could wrap Cogsworth up and say, "Oh, Cogsworth, oh, my Cogsworth," right, putting his hands on her shoulders and looking at her, and then running back over to Belle and saying, "Belle, let's go find your father." Or we could handle it the way that some of our other Cogsworths, who are also girls, were doing, and it's when the prince wraps Cogsworth up and is like, "Oh, Cogsworth! Oh, my, Cogsworth." Right, like, "Oh,
That
I didn't
one
know that you were a
sounds a bit
woman."
better.
Okay, right, and then
I'm
runs up.
fine with either one as long as Barrett doesn't crush me.
Which is a legitimate fear.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
It does.
It really does. Barrett, just don't crush me. That's all I'm asking him.
I don't think he's here. I think
Yeah,
he
he's
left a
not.
while back.
I just don't want Garrett crushing me.
I understand that. I will see to it personally that he does not. If he does, he will get the boot. Das Boot. All right, so then I'll let you guys decide with your counterparts, right, with Beasts, whichever way you want it to happen. And then Beast will run over to Belle, who is waiting for him here, and he says, "Belle, let's go find your father." And then they go running off this way. Okay, Belle is immediately getting changed. Beast is running around to get changed into his thing. Okay, just as a friendly reminder to my Beasts and Belles. Leaving these 3 alone on stage right here, Cogsworth poses the question, "Who was that young man?" And Lumiere says, "The prince." And let's go ahead and do these lines with cast Mencken.
Who was that young man?
The prince.
Was it?
Oh, it most certainly was.
Babette enters. She's back to her voluptuous self. So Babette is going to enter right here, Natalie. And that is where she is going to be stationed. Actually, I'm going to change it just slightly. You're still entering in the same spot, but here's the LED. I want you to be standing right in front of the LED, right? So you'll come in this way and move to there. Okay, so that's where you're going to be, Natalie. Make sure that you have that. Give me a verbal yes. Got it, or something similar.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So very good, very good. I realize. Let me go ahead and where is it? Participants. Here we go. I'm going to enable the waiting room. All right. Well, I guess I don't have to enable the waiting room. Encore kids can see this too. Why not? Because maybe it'll do some good. Maybe they'll be able to see this and remember it. So anyway, yeah, Babette is now here, and she ends up calling over to Lumiere and says, "Yoo-hoo!" Go ahead and say it.
Yoo-hoo, bonjour, handsome.
Lumiere. Yeah, Lumiere's jaw drops, and he goes running over to her as he's saying,
Babette, you look so much better.
Good. And he goes running over to her, and they embrace, and then they're kind of like, right, hanging out over there together. Okay? Leaving Cogsworth with Mrs. Potts alone. And at that moment, that is when Madame de la Grande-Bouche enters, and she's going to come in right here. So I'll put wardrobe right there. Mrs. Potts takes a small step aside so that Cogsworth can move over to her. And then Cogsworth ends up saying these lines right here. Go ahead, Cat.
Madame, may I say you look ravishing.
And Katie Anderson.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Cogsworth. I simply can't believe this gown fits me after all these years.
Good.
Mama.
Now, real quick, Mrs. Potts is still right here. And Cogsworth and Wardrobe, when you guys are done with your little scene right there, Cogsworth will offer his arm to her, right, and then take her to here. And I actually might have Mrs. Potts earlier. I might have you just move to like here, Mrs. Potts. Right after the prince says, "Let's go find your father," she might just move right up there. That might be a little bit easier. So we'll do that. Right, so Mrs. Potts ends up moving up there instead. Cogsworth and Wardrobe move over to here, and this is where they start the finale. And then Chip enters in, and Chip is going to come running in from this side, right here, and move to about there, where she is met by Mrs. Potts. Okay, Mrs. Potts moves to about right there. Okay, McDonald's. McPotts.
Chip?
McChip.
McChip.
I don't know.
Chip,
All right. So
my
anyway, they end up right about here, and Chip says from offstage,
Mama.
to here, and Mrs. Potts says,
Chip, my boy. Sorry, I'm
Chip, the little
confused a
boy.
little.
No, you're good. Chip, the little boy, runs to greet his mother, and Chip, after they hug as humans again, Chip says,
Are they gonna leave happily ever after, Mama?
and they're going to start moving to here as they are saying this.
Of course, my dear, of course.
Good. Keep going.
Do I still have to sleep in the cupboard?
Good. And that's more of like a question, right? So you're like, wait, do I still have to sleep in the cupboard? And then everyone's going to have a hearty chuckle at that. It's going to be very cute. And then Mrs. Potts and Chip will move over to here. No, hold on. Where do they go? I forgot. I think they actually move over to this side because Maurice comes in and moves to here, Chris. So that is where you will enter. And you are then going to be hanging out with this group right here. Okay, so Cogsworth, Wardrobe, Maurice, Mrs. Potts, Chip, Lumiere, Babette, and then they already know this, but Beast comes in from this side, is met by Belle, and they are both dressed in their fanciest wear ever, and they end up singing together in the finale. And as far as the finale goes, everyone is in it at a certain point, but it's only this group up until this part right here. Okay? I love you. And then everyone enters, and we move down. Certain as the sun, and everyone's coming in. Everyone's coming in. Even Gaston, even LeFou, even Monsieur Dark, all the villains, because we are no longer in the play. This is now us as the cast saying goodbye to the audience as we are all singing Certain as the sun. And so now we are all across the stage with Belle and Beast right in the center. These people are most likely the ones that are the closest to them, but it doesn't truly matter. And then we sing all of that stuff until the finale. Beauty and the Beast. Ah. Okay. And make sure that we are singing those words. And on the final ah, right here, there is another stage kiss. There is another one. So that is when that happens, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And that is our show. That's the end of the show. So do we have any questions about that?
Yay!
I want to give a compliment to Jennifer because her chip is really cute. I was literally like, I'm just
Seriously. Oh my god.
All right. So if we don't have any other questions or anything, actually, hold on. I'm at the bottom of that thing. Yeah, we're good. So I'm going to stop recording.